competitions they contested in. It's a very good evening to you and a warm welcome to you. Now, the President, Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi, accompanied by the First Lady, Ms. Neo Masisi, condoled with the Mokodi family at Bontleng in Gaborone this afternoon. This follows the recent passing of their mother and parent, Ms. Motlalipula Emily Mokodi, after a short illness. Kikantse Khumalo reports.
Motlalipula Mokodi, who died at the age of 87, has been hailed as a respectful elder who was loved by many at Bontleng location in Gaborone. President Masisi described her as a homemaker of note, saying they grew up under the warmth of her love and care back in the days.
Sebakanyana hela re na le lona mokutu o motsaga le ditso tsa yone motseo wa Bontleng le yona wa Gaborone le kereke ya Lontong ya ga na UCC le tsotlhe tsa dirileng tse di molemo go godisa batho ba le bantsi le moteng ya le go le bose botshelo ba gago se ka la tlhoka go mmolera go tsa dirileng tse dintle tse bangwe ba tshwanetse gore ba kotolotse mo go ene ba bone gore go tshelwa jang le go disa bana jang motho o se nnatla o tlhaga ne ka re mona a tsamaya se ka dumela ngwaga tsa gagwe.
Her family will forever cherish her impeccable upbringing, full of love and sound guidance. Ms. Motlalipula Mokodi is survived by 6 children and will be laid to rest tomorrow in Gaborone. Kikantse Khumalo, BTV News, Gaborone.
Meanwhile, President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi was in Angola on a one-day visit yesterday at the invitation of his Angolan counterpart, Mr. João Lourenço, President of the Republic of Angola and Chairperson of the Southern African Development Community, SADC. A news release from the Foreign Ministry says the purpose of the visit was to meet and brief President Lourenço on Botswana's position on the self-imposed exile of former President Lieutenant General Ian Khama and some of his family members. The two presidents also discussed other critical bilateral issues, including the security situation in the region. The release states that at the meeting, President Lourenço informed President Masisi that he had been approached by former presidents of Nigeria and South Africa on behalf of former President Khama to help pave the way to address issues around the self-imposed exile of former President Khama and to help resolve with his differences with President Masisi. President Masisi briefed the Angolan president and chairperson of SADC on the source of their differences and past efforts to address them initiated by President Masisi, which involved prominent elders in the country, namely former President Dr. Festus Mogae, former Vice President Dr. Bonasego Kidikilwe, former speakers of the National Assembly, Mr. Ray Molomo and Mr. Patrick Balopi, and a former minister, Mr. David Mahang, which regrettably yielded no results. President Lourenço thanked President Masisi for taking time to meet with him and for the detailed brief. President Lourenço promised to engage further on the matter. Moving on, the first ever time measurement survey for Kazungula one-stop border post has been launched. The survey will measure the transformation made by the new infrastructure since the discontinuation of the pontoon following the commissioning of the bridge in May 2021. Kialeboga Eole reports.
The Time Management Survey is a special tool developed by the World Customs Organization intended to measure the time taken to process cargo and persons across the border by customs, other border agencies, and private sector stakeholders.
The conducting and publishing of the Time Management Survey is in line with the provision of the World Trade Organization, trade facilitation agreements that we have entered into with other countries, to which the Republic of Botswana is a signatory. Time management surveys results are increasingly being used by countries for strategic planning and resource allocation in channeling border agency efforts in facilitating cross-border trade, which is one of our mandates in terms of the BRS Act.
Japan International Cooperative Agency, JICA, is on board as a technical and financial partner.
JICA has supported construction of structures like the bridge and the border post, including OSBP equipment, through financing and consulting services.
The survey identified a number of inefficiencies at the border.
The first issue that was identified was the inability for our trading community to access the customs system. The issue of having consolidated cargo hindering data exchange, data security, as well as the monitoring of transit, which poses a security threat.
Some questions were asked regarding the study and its findings.
Any specific reasons why the study was conducted in the month of June?
Why Kazungula border post, among other borders that we have here in Botswana?
The other reason why we really needed to do it in Kazungula was because of the investment that has been done by our country, the multi-millions that went into the construction of this facility.
The findings of the survey was well received by other border agencies.
As border agencies, we will continue to facilitate customers in a timely, secure, effective, and efficient manner.
The objective of the survey was to identify bottlenecks or efficiencies that exist in border processes with a view to come up with interventions and corrective measures intended to improve service delivery. Kialeboga Eole, BTV News, Kazungula.
The Tlokweng border post has recorded a substantial number of travelers this year. The immigration administrator, Mr. Izani Silasi, says they recorded a total of 33,000 travelers between the 18th and 27th of this month. Horata Moranyani.
Different border posts around the country have recorded high numbers of travelers going in and out of the country during these festive holidays. Tlokweng border post recorded a total of 33,000 people traveling in and out of the country between the 18th and the 27th of December this year.
Dipalo tsa rona di eme jana go tswa ka di 18 go ta go tsena ka di 27 maabane ba ne ba goroga arrival re nile le decline di le 17,767 ba ne ba tswa departure re nile le ba le 15,649 mo go rang gore botlhe hela re ba kopanya arrival and departure re nile le 33,416.
On the 18th of December 2023, we had 521 individuals which were clearing goods for small traders for commercial purposes. No, commercial goods. We had 475 trucks coming from South Africa into Botswana importing commercial goods.
Travelers said although there were a lot of people traveling, they do not experience any delays at the borders.
South Africa. go crossa ga rona go motlhogo ga gona bothata bopehela ra itemogela bothata bopehela go ya le go bo
ke jele monate tota ke jele monate ke enjoyile bile ke batla wa ke boela gape soon ke ra gore le go tlola ga tene go se dingalo go ya le go boa re tlo tsaya sentle.
Travelers are advised to check that their traveling documents are up to date to avoid any delays at the border. Khorata Moranyani, BTV News, Tlokweng Border Gate.
The construction of a 200-kilometer veterinary disease control fence between Botswana and South Africa is underway. The project coordinator, Dr. Jaone Sebina, says the 700 million Pula fence, which is built along the Ramatlabama and Pitsane-Molopo border lines, is primarily geared towards controlling the movement of livestock to deter the spread of diseases between the two countries. Lone Sugobo reports.
The foot and mouth disease that erupted in South Africa 3 years ago is threatening to spread to Botswana's side, with a high likelihood of frustrating this country's economy and the cattle rearing sector if not controlled. To this effect, Botswana is up on her toes, braced to face the problem head-on with the construction of a 200-kilometer cordon fence from Tlharaselele all the way to Banyana Farms.
Puso in rebotse madi kana tiriso ya madi a eleng gore a taba itebagantse le gore re thome sekganedi sa motsamayo wa leruo e leng yone trata e tabeng e bapisitse molwane wa lefatshe la rona le la South Africa e bapisitse no ka yone ya molopo sekgala sotlhe se eleng gore ra go tsenya trata mo go sone ke dikilometera di le 200 kilometers le le trata e bapileng e reng ke yone e reng double cordon fence maikelelo e le gore dikgomo tsa Afrika Borwa di ska tsa kopana kana tsa atamalana le dikgomo tsa rona tsa mo Botswana madi a beetsweng project yao kana a kanyeditsweng gore a ka tswa mo projecteng e ke didikadike di le 700 million pula.
The companies that are engaged are 7, including other government machinery le bone ba thusa. Lebaka ile gone gore the project is to take the shortest time possible we can ka gone gore it's a response to an emergency.
Even though the project is initiated in Morolong region, plans to extend it to other areas are on the cards.
Project e jaaka ntse jana ba gaetso mo kgalong ya ka kwano ya Good Hope e be simola go Tlharaselele ke yo ya go hella ko Mabule ko Banyana Farms me ntse jana ga e helele hela go e tshwanetse gore e thomamisa gore go nna le molwane o eminga dinao o khannang turuo magareng ga lefatshe la Afrika Borwa le Botswana ka tswela gape ke yo ya heta ya go le go kgateng gape ya ba ya heta ya go molwaneng wa rona le lefatshe la Namibia.
The project is anticipated to be complete by March 31st next year. Concurrently, farmers in Morolong district are encouraged to ensure their livestock does not cross into South Africa. Lone Sekobo, BTV News, Ramatlabama.
The McCarthy's Rust border in Kalahari South has experienced a surge in numbers of travelers entering and leaving the country for the holiday break. The Chief Immigration Assistant at the border, Ms. Masego Ogorogile, says she foresees the numbers of travelers increasing as the new year approaches.
McCarthy's Rust border is one of the 6 borders in Kalahari South that connects Botswana with South Africa. Mostly people travel from Botswana for shopping in Kuruman, South Africa, which is 218 kilometers from McCarthy border.
But 163, 22, and then, but
228 travelers have used this border since the 22nd of December to date. It's our busiest time of the year. The service at the border is said to be impeccable. I'm going to Kuruman to visit my family. The McCarthy border staff had to return a few people who tried to cross the border with children under 18 without proper documentation.
Rona tota hela ha motho a tsena ba re ra go ngwana kana ga mo botshelong re mo kopa gore nya mme ha ntse a le mothwana o ka go fisa molaodi ba ka go thusa gone gore ha ile gore baby daddy o mo tsentse mo birth certificate mme gana na ga.
It seems a lot of people have trouble getting consent to travel with their children from former partners. The district commissioner's office is there to solve such issues.
Mme tota ga re sala re le mo go le ra go ngwana mme ra go ngwana gana go re ga yo go thelele tota mo botshelong ba ngwana so go tota ba thusiwang ke bone bao.
Ms. Ohoregile says she's concerned with people who insist on crossing the border illegally into South Africa. She said Botswana police will continue to patrol the border during these holidays to catch the perpetrators in the act and bring them to justice. BTV News, McCarthy's Trust Border.
The Kwairi festive celebrations have been hailed as a revival and preservation of Setswana culture. This was uttered by the Member of Parliament for Molepolle South, Mr. Kabo Morwaeng, when officially opening the Kwairi celebrations at Semarule Lands recently. He said the celebrations will be held throughout his constituency during these festive holidays. Jessica Pilani.
Semarule choir groups showcasing the rich Setswana culture through the choir showpiece. According to the area MP, Mr. Kabo Morwaeng, it is imperative for Botswana to come together to enjoy and pride themselves with their Setswana culture.
Re tshwanetse go somarela se ga rona, re ipela ka sone, re ikgantshe ka sone, re itumele ka sone, re ithobe matsadi ka se ga rona, jaaka le dira yana. Yaanong ke a le kopa itseng gore rona re le mo pusong re eletsa gore bodiragatsi bo ka kgona gore tshetsa bo ka kgona gore bo tshetsa ba ga rona ke eletsa go bana mo ngwageng o tlang batho ba tletsega bajana la ba tlile kwano ka gore ra go simolla go dilaretsa dikhwaere tse.
Organizers of the event say they have exceeded their expectations as the festival, which marked its first edition, managed to bring together 12 choirs with the intention to revive and preserve culture for the future generation. Over and above its role in promoting culture and cultural participation, this display is said to be crucial in molding the young people into responsible individuals in the society.
Khaere ya rona e simolile ka 1990 ke fitlhela batsadi ba ntse ba le mo gone ke tsene khaere ke ntse ke le monyenyane ke godile mo go yone. Khaere ya rona ke khaerela ye ntle le rato re godiswa sentle ruta sentle gore le nne le maitseo.
Ke tlile mabaka gore re tlo go bina re tlo go supa ngwao re le bagolo rona re sala re bina dikwaere bogologolo yaanong ke tsone se re tlile gore re tlo go ba rotloetsa gore ba kgathale gore ba bone gore kwaere ya bopa ga e dire boganka bope ebile ga e tsene mo ditaging.
As these festivals continue throughout this constituency, during these festive holidays, participants and revelers are implored to continue with the good conduct and to enjoy responsibly. Jessica Pilani, BTV News, Semarule Lands.
Operation Khomukumo is yielding optimal results across the central region, and as of recent, 4 men aged between 18 and 42 were arrested in Panapme after being found in possession of a suspected stolen cow carcass. This was revealed by the police spokesperson, Assistant Commissioner Dipeku Mutube. Kumiso Mapanyane reports.
Stock theft around the central region is of major concern to the police as well as farmers. This is said to be fueled by some meat industry players who send livestock criminals to slaughter stolen cows to sell to them.
Go setse go supa jaanong gore dikgomo tsa Botswana ba kgaolong ya Mahalape le Phalape le dikgaolo tsa Tsopong le Bobirwa di feletse ko dibutšhareng, di feletse mo go bommasapeng. Batho bao ba dira tshenyo e seng kana ka sepe, ke bone bommasapeng, ke bone beng ba dibutšhara, ke bone batho ba dikgwebo ba e leng gore ba roma bana ba re tsamaye le go ntshinkela nama ga le sena go na le bona kgomo le bo le mpitsa ke ta go e tsaya kana le bo le isa kwa game.
Assistant Commissioner Dipeko Mutube stressed that there are some challenges that hinders the success of their operation.
Se utlwisang botlhoko se e leng gore batho ba tshwanetse gore ba tshware ba lebisiwe molato ke maiteko a dirwang ke batho ba ba romiwang gore ba leke ka bojotlhe gore ba ntshe batho ba e leng gore ba ba romile. Mme fa re ka tsamaya jaana bagetswa re ka tsamaya ka thulaganyo ya ka re lwantsha borukhutlhi jo re leka go bontsha batho ka gore mathata a matona a bogolo jwa leruo ke mmaraka. Re buile ko tshimologong gore ga re tsena mo lesolong la kgomokhuma ke gore re tlhatlhamolola ditlhopha tsa baikopanyi tsa bogolo jwa leruo re bo re bone ko dikgomo kana leruo la batho le yang teng, mme batho ba e leng gore ke bone ba romang batho bone beng ba dibutšhara, batho ba e leng gore ba roma kgabagare ba intsha setlhabelo gore ke bone ba kampang ba kgolegelong, batho ba e leng gore ke bone ba tsentseng tsebetsebe basali.
Farmers in the central region have been applauded for their commitment and unity in curbing stock theft. Kumiso Mapanyani, BTV News.
Small business owners in Maung are benefiting from the influx of tourists during the holiday season. The village is currently registering a high number of visitors, and several business owners say the surge will help sustain them for the next few months. Khomotseho John.
Maung is renowned for attracting a multitude of holiday makers, especially during festive holidays. This has come to the advantage of small business owners who shared that they have made better sales during the season despite the changing weather conditions.
Christmas ya go na le madi ga o tshwane le malatsa ko morago ale kuri hela ka letsatsi la Christmas lone ka 25 pula ne ina batho ne ba sio thata no moreko no le kotase mme malatsa mangwa re bone sengwenyana o phile no go le botoka tota kono kesha bile kita khona o rekela bana uniform
mo taxi business rena go mashumashu re khona go tshela batho ba tsile ba palama ra ba dorpa go ba ya te hela khona go botoka o tshwanele gale ka ntse re renka ka teng cause le tsono ne cashiana ene ngone o tso dira lo senyana mpe go khona o dira two planyana yo botokanyana ndilo ane jaka go bona ana gore bathongwe ba ile di Christmas ngwe bata bua bata ba pere ba tsa re ba isa go magabone ra ba gorsa sente.
Christmas holiday bring relatives together and promote unity among them, thus building healthy families.
Ga re le Botswana re thoka gore boele go bogologolo re ipelele ko malapeng ko modiko re leng teng ka gore go ipelela mo lapeng ga re le mo lapeng yana ga re ise go re nne le dintwa sense bosigo rothe le bana ba rona ba bannyane ba makaule makgarebe re le mo lapeng le gompieno ana re mo lapeng ga le gore ba ta tshopoga ba ta tswa makgantelenyana mme gone go molemo go le nne go lo one ka re e botlhokwa ka gore tota la go nna le dikotsi le ga le kgaoga pelo thata ka gore la bo le go lo one
tota ke eletso ya melelo gore se ka go helela gone e re le yo mongwe ka moso gongwe le ha re tswa ha re tere kopana re bue gore e re go ga o ta re bona gore ka ya go goma ra go dira ja ka ga ke dirile ja ka gore mo le tekeletso mme ke tsa gore ha le go ka atega le ba bangwe ba ta bona re so se ke so se la le mosola ka moso re bitsane gape ra go dira sengwe.
It is imperative to enjoy responsibly to maintain safety for all. Khamsarajan, BTV News, Maung.
The Bank of Botswana has revealed that to maintain the competitiveness of local businesses against trading partners in other countries due to expected higher inflation in Botswana next year, the Pula basket weights and downward rate of crawl of the currency per annum will be maintained. The bank said the move was determined by President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi following a recommendation by the Minister of Finance, Ms. Peggy Serame, in consultation with the bank. Tsolofelo Tombale with the report.
The country's exchange rate committee has advised that the Pula basket weights of 45% South African rand and 55% SDR, which is a collection of 5 currencies such as the American dollar and the United Kingdom pound, and the downward crawl of the currency of 1.51 that were used in 2023 should continue to be used in 2024. The committee, which includes members of the Bank of Botswana and the Ministry of Finance, emphasized that the move is based on the good performance of the Pula weights in 2023.
Ina re go lebelelwa dikgang tsone tse ra dumalana ka bongwela ya pele gore se ne re se dumalane gore se diragadiwe ke banka ya Botswana mo ngwaga wa 2023 se re bereketse jalo he ha se re bereketse re tshegeditse tota ga to ga sepe re tshegeditse ga se ne re se dumalane ngwaga o hitileng ka Sedimonthole re se dumalana gape gore nya se re bereketse se bereketse ra hatse ile go lebella ka tsa kgwebo le go lebella ka tsamaiso ya itshulelo re sa lebale lebelo la kgolo ya ditlhwatlhwa le le gore la mana le dikgang tse.
The Bank of Botswana explained that the downward crawl of the currency is about maintaining the country's competitiveness against its trading partners.
In 2024, we expect inflation in Botswana to be higher than the other trading partner countries by around 1.51 percentage points. If prices in Botswana, for example, are to increase by 1.51 percentage points, this is higher than South Africa, then producers in Botswana will be at a disadvantage because it will be cheaper for somebody in Botswana to buy in South Africa.
Mr. Molala Pata also explained what this could mean for the economy.
The Pula is going to be stable in 2024, and that is what we want as a country. We want our currency to be relatively stable. So basically, with a stable currency, it then says to investors, you are dealing with a country that has a stable currency, then you are able to lure in investors in the country. And also, those who are already producing within Botswana, it then says to them, you can continue producing because you are certain what the value of the Pula would be in the year.
The bank did emphasize that the framework they use to determine the currency value is what helped the economy survive the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. And while it is not experiencing the highs prior to the pandemic, it continues to improve. Tsolofelo Tombale, BTV News, Gaborone.
And Tabahan Sabatala is standing by to give us the latest in sports in Tabu.
Good evening, Khomozo Mapani. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm okay.
Okay, man.
Thank you very much. And now, Botswana Tonight Sports News follows with me, Ndabuhan Sebetlela. National cricket team's coach Stanley Timoni said even though the teams did not fare well this year in the competitions they contested in, they have learned a lot that is expected to improve the team's performance next year. Timoni said this in an interview with BTV News Sports at Desk. Ryan Khangwenyane compiled the report.
Timoni said he believes that the team has learned a lot despite having a below-par performance in the competitions they took part in this year.
We picked lots of things which we need to work on come 2024 with the ladies team. We need to work on our awareness. We need to work on how to win games, especially competitions. Yes, we went before the Uganda, we went to India tour. We played very well that side, but it was a different story in Uganda. It's because the ladies were a bit shaky, they were stage fright, they couldn't, perform because they were scared. But that's something which you cannot change as a coach. It's mentally when they cross there. And talking of the men's, They were in South Africa and I wasn't there with the men's because we had 2 tournaments in the same week, one in Uganda and one in South Africa. And thanks to Coach Moses, who went with the men's and the captain, and we came 3rd in the Africa Cup finals. So to me, it was a good year with sad news and good news.
He further stated that another positive they can take away from this year is that players have grown into packaged athletes who also have learned how to take care of their bodies, a factor he said will be crucial in getting the desired results on the pitch.
To be honest, the difference now is we are now getting to understand the cricket culture, whereby a player now understands how to look after himself or after herself. Unlike before, it was just playing without thinking of cricket, without planning as an individual, without having goals. At the present moment, all players, both women and men's, as individual players, they have goals, how to achieve their goals.
What does the BCA coaching staff have lined up for the year 2024?
2024, we have got 3 major tournaments, ICC. We have got the men's under-19 World Cup qualifiers. We have got the women's under-19 qualifiers, and we've got the men's also qualifiers. So it's going to be a busy year for us, and we are going to take step by step at each time so that we plan and work so hard to achieve our goals. Our main goal is to make sure that we qualify for the World Cup. So with all the 3 teams. So it's going to be a year packed with action, and we need, as coaches, we need to work flat out very, very hard to make sure that we improve in all the 3 departments and make sure that we qualify for the ICC tournaments.
Just like other associations, Botswana Cricket Association have closed shop for the festive season, and expectations are that the year 2024 will bring fruitful results so as to improve the national team's world rankings. Ryan Khenwian, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
The Member of Parliament for Rabane Mankodi, Mr. Kagiso Musi, has applauded soccer teams that took part in football tournaments that were organized by his office. He said by so doing, they'll be showcasing their talents which could open doors for them in the future. Mr. Musi was speaking at the ongoing tournaments at Lesiriane recently. Preti Mokhwetsi.
These tournaments kick-started during Independence holidays and were continued during Christmas holidays. Besides entertaining the Khabane Mankhodi constituents, they could effectively nurture the participants' talents and attract them sustainable employment in well-established football teams.
Banana ba attenda ka bokete batsadi ba attenda maabane ha re le kotlwane ntse ba leboga gore at least ga ba tsamaela kgakala ba mo malapeng ba gauhi ba attenda ba le gauhi bana ga ba tsamaele kgakala ko eleng gore ka mosogongwe ba ka tsoga ba kopane le dikotsi ya ka ke bua gongwe ya ka maabane ha re le kotlwane ne ke utlwa go na le bangwantsa re nyana ke tle go lebella di player ke tle go lebella di playera a ka re le nna re o tswa mo teaming dingwe tse di tona mme o tle go lebella di playera gongwe e ka kgona go recruita bangwe ya no gone go mo le mmereko ka moso ba ka tsoga bana le ditiro ba kgona gore be go tshameka professional football.
Tona o ntshitse madi a di tournament gore bana ba rona tota re le ke go ba khapha mo mmileng re ba kgobokanyetse go go lo 1 gore ba ska ba nna ba tsamaya ka dikoloi ba toga ga ba tsenya mo diphatseng re ba kgobokanyetse go go lo 1 ba tshamekele bolo ka Christmas re na le bana ba ba tshamekela mo Lesirane ba reng gore tona o sponsorle tournament ya Lesirane ka 50,000 e be re na le Gabane ka o motona o na le 4 constituency wards ba mo sponsora ka 100,000 e be re na le Mokolodi Twaneng le yona mo sponsor le jalo ka 50,000 e be re nna le Mankgodi ka lene ke motso motona o na le 2 constituency wards aba mo sponsor ka 100,000.
The tournament also benefited small business owners who have confirmed making good business returns.
Holiday ha o ka nna hela yana gongwe go ka re thusa thata go ka re tsosa hela go re isa go godimo yana le business nyana ya teng ya go godimo.
The players as well as organizers of the tournament say they are happy about how it turned out, as they did not let the rain showers get in their way.
Pula ene e le ka gore kgoreletsa mme ka gore bo ngwana ke tota ga se batho ba sa batleng go nna hela nne ba lepelepele le pula e hela mo di-tournamenteng ga ise ke ba shaise ba di pula yana ba nta ba re nyama ma re tswelela.
Tournaments like this ones are said to be crucial in improving the statue of local football if held more often. Pretty Mokgweetsi, BTV News, Lisirane.
And lastly, Township Rollers team manager Mosrezi Mafa says the team intends to win the Botswana Premier League trophy this season. The Blues are currently top of the log with 27 points. Tlamelo Muntsusi.
Popa Popa has won the league 4 times in a row from the 2015-2016 season to the 2018-2019 season, and they will be aiming to use that experience to win the 2023-2024 season.
So far, Township Rollers achieved re leader log. We are number 1. So more we are on the right track. If we can tshwara this momentum ra tsamaya ka one, Township Rollers ga e teletse league. It's rare gore o ka igolosa go go because the experience ya go etela league we know how to win the league. Ke dio tse ritsong gore league ha o tsamaya mo semong se re mo go sone se we defender yang gore o go tsa league. So ke tsa gore if focus ya rona e ka nna teng, then we can le support from our management, from our supporters, then everything will be fine.
We are impressed, though in coaching you are always greedy, you want more than what you have achieved, but so far I think you are on the right track.
Township Rollers has had a challenge of delayed payments for players recently, primarily due to lack of funds, a factor Mafa said forces them to rely heavily on their investor.
I can't say batshameki ba ska ba tshwa o ba tshwenyega, but se ke se go bolelang ka sone ke gore we are trying gore team re busitse mo Township Plus e malemang a itseng gore Township Plus league ya rona ga ena madi. We don't have grants, we don't have a sponsor. Go struggle motho o tabang ai ile ena ano gore ke ene o eteletseng pele by that time. If you remember gampeno ana football rona e dropile, supporters are not coming. Rollers ga etsa manteng etsa maka ka supporters tse dintsi. So bona we are madi only ka derby, then other games ke struggles, supporters are not coming, there is no grants, there's no prize money. So ke mo goreng mo go ibote le mmone wa struggle, but ha struggle ga la tshwana gore be le mo hella pele le reno wa fail because team le ha tsikilong le leng gore mo league yone ga gona madi mo go yone.
The Blues have won 8 league matches, drawn 4 and lost only 1 to collect 27 points. Popa will open the new year with a date against Traffic on January the 13th. Tlamelo Monsusi, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
From Botswana Tonight Sports Desk, that was all we had for you until we meet again tomorrow. Do have yourself a great, safe weekend. Back to you, my lady.
Thank you so much, Intebu. Until we meet again next year. We meet again in 2024.
Next year.
Yes, ma'am. Have yourself a fantastic 2023, whatever is left of 2023.
Thank you very much, my lady. And please keep safe.
I will stay safe. Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome.
That was Ntebogang giving us the latest in sports. Let's take a final look at stories leading the way this evening. President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi was in Angola yesterday on a working visit following an invitation by his Angolan counterpart, Mr. João Lourenço. 33,000 people have crossed the Tlukwembora Gate since the start of the festive season. And in sports, the national cricket team's coach Stanley Timoni says despite poor results, the teams have learned a lot from competitions they contested in. That's all that we had for you in our news bulletin this evening. Up next is the weather update, #BW Mindset Change.
Good evening and warm welcome to tonight's weather forecast brought to you by Leader Wadi. Let's take a look at the rainfall amount recorded this morning. Already it's a Mautle and Sons Integrated Farm, 70 millimeters, Tiny Med Station, 55 millimeters, Metsiman Lekotla, 30 millimeters, Two Rivers Wildlife Camp, 18 millimeters, Manduyani Primary School, 6 millimeters. Boxbees Primary School, 5 millimeters, Senyawa Primary School, 2 millimeters. Tomorrow expecting scattered thunder showers over Kalahati district. Also expecting some isolated thunder showers. Fresh to strong winds are expected over most parts of the country. Therefore, the public is advised to take necessary precautions. In the morning, we're expecting warm temperatures over the entire country, ranging between 16 and 19 degrees Celsius. In the afternoon, we're expecting hot temperatures over Ngamiland and Khansiri districts between 33 and 34 degrees Celsius. Also expecting warm temperatures between 27 and 32 degrees Celsius. On Sunday, we're expecting some isolated thunderstorms over Ngamiland, Khansi, Kalahati, and southern districts. Also expecting some partly cloudy conditions with hot temperatures in the afternoon over Ngamiland and Khansi, ranging between 33 and 35 degrees Celsius. Also expecting warm temperatures between 27 and 32 degrees Celsius. That's the weather forecast. Good night.
President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi earlier this year attended the 28th session of the Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, COP28. President Masisi delivered a statement on Botswana's climate change agenda and articulated some of the country's milestones and challenges to